Welcome to Overlanding from Home. My name is Anton. I'm an avid overlander, lover of nature, and humanitarian by heart. The past while, I've always been interested in the outdoors, and I want to hear about other people's experiences and their rigs. Yes, the big rigs, the small rigs, everything they've done to design them and how they plan it. I hope you enjoy listening. Let's find out who today's guest is. Hello again, ladies and gentlemen, and it's been a while. Haven't done a podcast for a few weeks, but I think everyone's been trying to settle down with all the changes on the virus. And today, I'm very excited. I have a very young couple that have been very active in exploration. I would call it. It's been they're very thorough in what they've done. Their website is amazing. The photography is incredible. It's called Ountravela. And I'll put the links down below. You can follow them and check them out. But they have quite a broad variety from of offering. Some of it is technical when it comes to tires, bikes, first aid kits. But today I want to introduce Olivia and Victor. They're a French couple, so this will be a very slow, easygoing chat. But thank you very much. I'm sorry I woke you up so early this morning to do this chat, man. Thanks very much for getting out of bed.
Hi, Anton.
Hi.
Hello, everybody. So, yes, we are Victor and Olivia from France.
Yeah.
And we are two young travelers and founders of a publishing house.
So, yeah, it's adventure guidebooks publishing. And we would like to share to everybody our passion for traveling and exploration.
So I see here that on your website, for example, and I'm going to chop and change a little bit, but on your website, I see the two main areas are Ladakh and Kyrgyzstan. Is that correct?
Yeah,
it is.
Exactly.
Did I say Ladakh correctly? Is that right?
Yes, Ladakh.
Okay, cool. So is Ladakh part of North India or is it its own country? I actually can't, I need to do a little bit more research and figure that one out.
No, it's part of India.
Ah, very cool. It looks very, very, very beautiful. So did you guys rent bikes and then travel through there? Is that correct?
Yeah, it is. So I went without Olivia this time with two friends. One was a photographer also, and we did a 3 weeks exploration only by bike. We went in Leh. It's the capital of Ladakh, and yeah, it was a great exploration. We were average 4,000 meter altitude.
Oh wow!
So yeah, landscape are amazing there.
I'm just looking at some of the pictures that you posted up on your website, and I'm going to watch the little video that you put through, and it looks incredible. Those valleys, I got goosebumps. Those valleys look amazing to drive through. Yeah. I mean, it must be quite something to take in.
Yeah, you can find the highest roads in the world there.
Oh, when you say that to an overlander, it's a big deal. So I'm quite excited to just hear a little bit more. So obviously you two have decided to put this website together and create something that people can absorb into something that they want to do. And you've been very thorough in that. And I see you've put in here from 4x4 rentals, buying a 4x4, you've got first aid kits, the type of tires. It's very thorough. Did it take you guys long to figure out which is going to be right or wrong for when overlanding, or?
I think we had time to think about it because we have been traveling for a long time, but we only bought our own vehicle a year ago. So we've rented so many cars, and we have time to try and think about it. So now we have a solid vision of what we want and what we don't want.
That's really good. I must admit, it's really good, and I'll tell you why. Is that many people, Olivia, just build a vehicle from scratch. I had someone come to me about a year ago saying that they wanted to buy a vehicle, build it, and then leave immediately. And they've never done overlanding before. And I said to them, no, don't wait. Buy the vehicle now, start building it, understand what you're doing. And this is what you've done is you went out, obviously for work purposes, but in that you learned a lot about vehicles. So tell me about your vehicle now. Do you have a rooftop tent? Do you use a ground tent? What's your preference?
Okay.
So yeah, we don't have a roof tents, for example, but it's something we want to do because it's a great luxury to have one. So we bought Toyota, so it's a fuel one in Bishkek 1 year ago.
Yes.
And we also have a motorbike. So we travel a lot with 2 vehicles, so the motorbike and the 4x4, and often it's with a group of friends coming with us, and we try to explore an area for 2 weeks with friends coming. So often is by 5 or 6 people, and then we come back to the capital. Our vacation are finished, and we have new friends coming, and we explore a new area of Kyrgyzstan. That's what was the exploration of last summer, and that's what we did for 5 months last summer.
5 months. You don't have the responsibility like most of us do, so you're very lucky.
yeah.
So
But
it looks like you've got a Land Cruiser 80 series. Is that right?
It is, yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, it's a very, very good vehicle. It's easy to repair. They hardly ever break. They're actually very sought after vehicles, by the way. So don't sell it easily.
Yeah. Before we rent a lot of Prado Toyota, and but this time we want something strong. And in Central Asia, it's Land Cruiser. There is a lot of Land Cruiser, and it's easy for maintenance. So it's a good choice, I think.
It is a very, very good choice. I know a bunch of people that have them, and they will never ever get rid of them because they're comfortable. They do need, obviously when you buy them secondhand, they do need a little of attention and repair on basics, but it's not to the engine. It's normally body work like paneling and tire, change tires and brakes and things like that. I mean, it's a great looking vehicle. So I'm going to ask you, it looks like you have all-terrain tires on it. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly.
Okay. And did you go for the 285s, or are you? I see on your website you focus on, for overlanding, you focus on 33-inch tires. How did you come up with that?
Yeah, it is. So I don't remember. We put this information on our website. I think it's that, yeah. But we choose mud tires because we don't know where we go, and it's better to keep the 4x4 with the best tires for the worst maybe place to go. Yeah, tracks.
Yeah. But it's right. Rather plan for the unexpected. And if when you're off road, the difference in noise between an all-terrain and a mud terrain is very, very different. So, I mean, sorry. When you're on dirt road or off-road, the noise difference between a mud and an all-terrain is very similar. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. So, having that big extra choice of mud and all-terrain, it's quite interesting. And I was very surprised to see that you said 33-inch tires, but I know that Blaze from Mud and Dust, he uses mud terrains and he enjoys them, but he made a comment to me that he may want to change to all-terrain tires. And it'll be very interesting to find out. But anyway, so what did you kit out? And I'm going to ask you each the same question. What is the number one thing that you like, Olivia, or use the most within the vehicle?
That's a good question.
I can ask Victor first if you want. Give you some time to think about it.
Yeah, I try to think about it, but for us, the vehicle is just a way to go in remote place, and we don't focus on the vehicle, so we just focus to discover and.
But the thing is, I think we didn't have time to equip it properly.
Yeah, it is also.
So because we bought it, and 1 week after we had to leave already on
Sure.
the tracks. So we bought it with a roof rack and bull bar and at least I think that's all the equipment we had.
Yeah, we put new tires.
New tires, and that's all. We didn't really have time to think about the measurement.
Equipment and stuff inside.
The equipment inside, yeah.
Okay.
So now we are thinking about it, and we would like to have a more comfortable vehicle because it was not really comfortable at this time.
Yes.
But it was okay for our aim to explore. So yes, I can't really say which is my favorite equipment inside the
because there is
car.
no equipment.
It's too soon.
It was almost empty, you know.
Yeah.
But we used a lot our mobile phone to explore because we needed it as a navigation system.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, let's get on to navigation. I think like everyone, most people plan a little bit beforehand. I read a post about 2 days ago on overlanding Africa, and the person was saying that they're planning in advance their daily drive. So, for example, if they're only going to drive into Africa in July next year, right now they're planning on Monday they're driving this, and on Tuesday they're driving that, which is crazy. Because I think anyone that overlands like where you guys have been, you will never stick to that plan. If you stop in a beautiful place or a mountain range and you need the sunset to get the colors in your photography, then I wouldn't care about it. So how do you, the question is this, how do you generally plan your trips? I mean, how do you what do you start with? Google Maps, Google Earth, iOverlander? What's your number one choice?
Yeah, we usually don't have a plan, but now that we work on the road, we need to have like some kind of plan. So yeah, we love to improvise, so we use just our feeling, or we ask people, we just get advice from local people, and so now we are a little bit more organized, and we spot tracks on satellite images that we find on application like FatMap. I don't know if you know about it.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's very, very useful. We spot the tracks, and then we try to reach them by different ways. We usually drive off the road, the main road. So
yes.
Yeah, it's, I think.
Yes, it's what can I say?
I completely understand what you're saying, and it looks like the areas that you've been into allow that to happen. It's very remote, and I don't think it's very common. I mean, it's nothing like, for example, driving into Africa. It's there's a lot more people and a lot closer distances in Africa. So if you're driving in Botswana, they ask you don't go off the main road, but Namibia too, because you can get lost easily, and it's very different. I don't think in the countries that you've been into, there's predators like there are within Africa. It's quite different.
But I think maybe there are less roads, because the tracks where we go are usually old USSR road.
Okay, the old Russian roads, yeah.
Yes, so you can find them on the maps. and so you can't really lost yourself. I think it's not,
No,
no.
but
That's
sometimes we have to stop our 4x4 and exploring by foot, or
Yeah, usually.
for example by horse riding with the nomadic people, because it's a good way to explore the country in Kyrgyzstan and especially in Central Asia. So yeah, this is part of the exploration.
When you can't go further with the 4x4, you rent horses and you can go further.
that's that's such a lovely way to just make a change in your mode of transport. Being able to walk is one thing, but getting horses and a guide that knows certain regions and areas, and again, it's very remote. So going walking and the cloud comes in with rain, you get lost easily. It's with no cell phone signal, it's a bit of a challenge, and it's amazing. And I want to ask you quick.
We need to learn the Russian.
Well, I did a podcast with a Russian guy, and he's got a Land Cruiser 80s actually, and he put 42-inch tires on. They're actually tractor tires on his vehicle.
Okay.
And he did the same thing. He uses another mapping system, a Russian-based mapping system, and they would look for a place and then go driving. But around St. Petersburg, where they are, it's very swampland. So they would be driving and find tanks that, sunken into the swamp and all sorts of different things that, I think that's amazing. To me, that history is hidden underground and being swallowed by water. Whereas for you, it's a path and a road that was driven maybe 10 times, and it's left tracks, enough for you to go and look at. It's great.
There is also Soviet military maps that's very funny to have on its application, and you can see all the Soviet routes. So sometimes they are good, sometimes they are very bad, but it's part of the adventure.
Yeah, I completely get that. So I want to ask you something that's very appealing here. These hunting eagles in Kyrgyzstan is with the Mongolese. Is that their normal way of catching food, or is it something that they just do as a hobby?
They used to do it just to catch food during the winter, but now it's more like folklore. It's more folkloric. They do it for the tourists in the summer.
Okay.
But they still hunt in the winter, but maybe 10 of them in the whole country.
Oh, really? Is that all? So it's quite okay. So it's not very big at all. I mean, it looks incredible, and you see a photo, and it just, it's very appealing. I must tell you that your photography is incredible. The colors that you bring out, the depth in the story of the photo is completely amazing. I mean, it's if any of my followers have not been, just go and look at their Instagram page before you go anywhere else and subscribe to them. I mean, they're young, adventurous, no responsibility, but they have everything available to them, and their photography and camera is incredible. What camera are you using?
We have a Sony A7R3.
Okay.
Yeah, and also a drone. So it's Mavic Pro 2. And yeah, our book are full of pictures, because we want
to share.
the reader to share and to show the tracks. So it's a good way for represent our tracks and giving the I don't have the word in English, but yeah.
The story. I mean, what do you use for your editing? Lightroom or a Mac based? Lightroom. Okay, that makes sense. So, tell me, I see there's camels and all sorts of stuff here. Did you eat camel on your way?
Did we eat camel?
Yeah.
No.
I eat in Oman.
Yes.
I remember, but not in Kyrgyzstan, no.
No, they don't eat it, but they eat the horses.
Really? They eat the horses?
Yeah.
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 No ways.
But only during some special occasion, like a wedding or
Yeah.
yeah.
So they don't have like the goats. I see they had some sheep, but goats and
Yeah,
cattle and that.
they eat a lot of sheep meat. Maybe only this kind of meat on a daily basis. But,
Okay.
yeah, sometimes horse meat.
That's amazing. I mean, I've eaten a lot of different things. I ate camel in Somalia, in Mogadishu, and I loved it. I went back 3 times. I had three
Yeah.
plates. Great meat.
Mm-mm.
Tell me, what did you do in Oman? What was it a similar type of adventurous getting out and going and look?
Yeah, it was the same kind of travel. We rent a car, and we also traveled in the United Arab Emirates. And we rent a car and we explored during, I think, 3 weeks.
Yeah, 2
each
or 3
time,
weeks, but it was 2 or 3 years ago, and that was for vacation. So now it's a little bit different because
Yes.
we explore to write a book.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Would you go back and do it again, in order to create a bigger book?
Yeah, sure. If it was possible. But in Oman there is already a book,
Yeah.
which is called Oman Off-Road,
Okay.
and it's a very famous book. So it would be difficult to write one about the country because this one is really famous now.
And it's complete. It's a very good one.
Yeah,
So
it's very
yeah,
good one. So
we write some article on the websites about Oman
Yes.
and also Emirates, and we give our GPS trace on map.
Okay.
I don't know if you see some, and yeah, it's for me it's one of the best country. I didn't go to Africa yet, but Oman is one of the dream country for overlanding, and yeah, it's deserts, the sea, everything is nice. It's you're all alone, and yeah, for 2 weeks trip, it's perfect. You can do all Oman.
I do agree about Oman. I mean, I did a podcast with a guy from Oman, and it's he says the same thing. But that whole region is very under, in comparison to Australia, North America, Africa. The Middle East is not very big when it comes to the overlanding side. It's not really well advertised. And someone with a little bit of experience, I would tell you, write a book anyway about the countries, even if there is this big book in Oman, because your twist and your wording on the book may give a very different perspective or another perspective to a reader. So I wouldn't care if there's another book. I would do it anyway. But it's your choice.
now we focus on Central Asia, and after that, yeah, we will see where we will go.
So Central Asia is obviously where you guys are focusing on. I mean, what are your plans? Are you wanting to do 1 or 2 big trips a year, or just do it consecutively while you're on the road?
The thing is that in the winter you can't travel there because it's too cold and there are too much snow.
Yeah.
So we can only travel between May and October, November. It depends on the year.
Okay.
So we were supposed to travel there this
summer.
spring.
Yeah.
But due to the COVID epidemic, it was not possible.
And you are in French.
So we'll see. Maybe at the end of the summer. We don't know. We are waiting for the country to open. But now the wave of COVID cases is going worse and worse in the country.
Yeah, it is becoming more of a challenge, and I think things are really going to start lightening up probably around February next year for international travel. I've chatted to a few travel agents and some of the local big safari lodges, and they are taking bookings, but only from March and so onwards next year. So yeah, I do agree. It's I don't think it's going to change anytime soon, unfortunately.
Yeah. So our plan was to explore Tajikistan this time,
Okay.
which is the country in the south of Kyrgyzstan. And next year maybe Mongolia, or we'll see.
Oh,
Yes, I was also Saudi
Saudi Arabia,
Arabia,
yeah.
also Jordani, Kazakhstan. We don't know. We just focus for now for Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan because it's famous for his beautiful roads. And in Tajikistan, you have the Pamir routes, and it's famous for cycling also. A lot of
okay.
people go cycling there, but it's also a dream for overland and explore.
Maybe you know what I mean. Considering you can't go in winter, maybe you should do it in winter and try. You know, that would be an amazing story because you can heat up your vehicle in different ways. You know, when you're sleeping in the tent and that. So it might not be bad. I mean, it might be worthwhile doing what others haven't done and doing it in snow. Personally, I wouldn't. I think it's way too cold. I did a podcast with a guy in Serbia, and he said he camped in something like minus 32 degrees. It was, I mean, it's crazy, but he camped in it, and he was still alive to tell the story.
But I think it's impossible, you know, because some of the roads are higher than 4,000 meters.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a mountain country.
In Tajikistan, so it's only snow, snow, and snow. So maybe with horses it could be possible, I think.
The big problem is paths are closed.
Yeah,
you
all
know,
the paths are closed.
so you are very limited where you can go. So, but I think it's
for traveling, just to have fun. Yeah, it would be possible, but to write a book, it would be complicated.
Okay, well you've clearly done all your research, so I went. Yeah. Anyway, it's worthwhile. It's worthwhile that you've done it. I think it's amazing. So on the horses side, I mean, how much of the horse riding did you do? I mean, I think you said you were there for a few weeks. So how many days did you go out horse riding for then come back, or did you go only do day trips?
We did it one time for 3 days, but it was quite difficult, you know, because when you are not used to ride a horse, you kind of suffer
Yes.
from your ass.
Yes. I completely know.
So yeah, we usually do it like for a day or an afternoon, just to
when we meet nomadic people, so we
just ask if it's possible to rent the horse or if they can go with us, and usually it's quite cheap. How much approximately? Like
in dollars, it may be $10 a day.
Yeah, $10
something like that.
$10 a day is really not lots of money.
Yeah, maximum to rent a horse and with a guide. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah.
For $10, I mean that's cheap, eh? I mean it's and these people live off the land. Obviously, they don't. There's no shops close by. There's no. You can't just pop into into a little cafeteria and grab a packet of chips or something like that.
No. Not possible.
How far is I mean from when you leave one of the cities? What is the distance between the remoteness and the city? And what I mean is, in Africa, I can leave a little village or a town, and it can be within 15 kilometers. I'm out of the little village area. It could be 1 kilometer. I'm out of the village area, but then it could be 200 kilometers. Between places. Is it similar like that in these places?
Yeah, it's so in Kyrgyzstan, you can just maybe 20 kilometers out of the city. So there is Bishkek, it's the capital, and maybe 2 or 3 average city, but it's only village, and people are nomadic. So
in the valleys, you find small villages where you can buy some stuff, but very basic stuff.
Yeah.
And then when you go in the mountains, you leave the valley maybe after 20 kilometers, you are in the wild
So,
open space.
Olivia, when you say very basic, what is very basic? I mean, I can think what it is for me in the places that I've been to, but what is very basic there? I mean, bread, milk.
Find, like, water, salt, pasta, rice,
Rice, yeah.
and that's all. And maybe chips or some biscuits, but
and
that's all.
and beer and vodka. They
Yeah,
love
also beer and vodka.
Russian vodka. So yeah.
Really? So beer, vodka, rice.
Maybe it's easier to find beer and vodka than water.
No.
Right?
Wow. Well, you can survive on beer, to be honest, and rice and pasta. So I wouldn't argue whether I want to do it every day. I don't know, but that's amazing. I mean, do they brew their own beer, for example? I'm sure some of them would be able to brew some of their own alcohol, right?
Yeah, they have some beer. The famous one is Arpa.
Yeah, this is a beer, but they have a local beverage. Its name is kumiz. So it's horse fermented milk.
Yeah.
So it may be 5% alcohol, but it's very strong to drink it. So it's local made.
It's not very well. They like it, but we didn't really like it. It was very special.
All these things are generally very local, and in Africa, it's making, or not making, brewing beer has become quite popular. There's a lot of local. There's a big local within Southern Africa brand. I wouldn't say brand. It's beers that they've been making. But what's happened in the last few months is a lot of people have been making pineapple beer. And you take 2 pineapples, you chop them up with the skins, everything. You put it in 9 liters of water. You put 2 handfuls of raisins in, and the raisins create more alcohol. And then you put a little packet of yeast, and you stir it. And you leave it for like 2 weeks, and then you stir it and you taste. And the raisins have a lot of alcohol in it, which I didn't know. And I would sit there having a braai. A braai is a barbecue for us. Eating the raisins and drinking the pineapple beer, and it was pretty good. I must admit, there was the one day it was the perfect time. I had 2 cups of the beer, and I had to sit down. It was pretty strong. So I don't know what the alcohol was, but it's worthwhile if you want to make.
Yeah, that looks better than the one of Kyrgyzstan, because the thing is, when you're invited in their yurts, you have to drink 1 cup of kumiz, this local drink. So just for respect.
For respecting the people, it's they offer you the cup, and you don't really have choice.
Each time one of the group try it. So yeah.
Did you drink it all, or did you just have a sip and say thank you?
No, they can't leave you until you don't drink it totally.
Yeah.
They insist a lot.
They are very proud of this.
I think that's very cool, but I completely understand that it can be challenging for some people. I mean, I've been in some places in Africa where I actually never asked what it was that I ate or drank, because I didn't want to know. I would just drink it and eat it and say thank you and move on. And I've been in some villages where, in Botswana region and Namibia, there's a worm called the Mopani worm, and it's quite big. It's like the size of your thumb, and it's got this big black beak that it uses to chew through the bark of the tree. And some people love eating it live, and some fry it in garlic butter. But it's very challenging when it's live and it's worming around and you're holding the beak and they're looking at you with all excitement and they're expecting you to eat it like that, and it just squishes in your mouth. It's not my proudest moments, I must admit.
It's not easy.
Definitely not. Well, guys, listen, I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. I mean, this is it's amazing to see where you're going and what you want to do. I think your young hearts are really driving an amazing way. Your website is very professional. Your photography is incredible. Your writing is superb, and I'm not saying that because we're talking and whatever, but anyone that goes onto your website, your book looks incredible. I'm going to look more into getting both of the books. I love the regions that you've chosen. I think where you're going is definitely untouched, for example, in comparison to North America and the other most common regions that are out there. And you're very informative, which is amazing. And I'm sorry about the lockdown. It's terrible. Getting this information out is very creative and well done. It's superb. And just thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. We are very happy to share this passion for exploration with other people. In French, the term overlanding does not exist.
Really?
So we never heard about it before, like 2 or 3 years ago. But we already traveled like this way, like with being self-reliant with our vehicle, traveling to remote areas. And so we didn't know, and we invented this term like Ountravela.
Yes.
Because it's for us, it was the term for overlanding.
Okay.
Like, adventure and yeah.
I was going to say, what do you use? Do you just say travel by road or by vehicle on dirt road? But I think
yeah, there is no word actually.
Maybe we say road trip, but
Yeah,
it's not that. So
yeah, it's not the same kind of travel.
Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, very interesting. Well, listen, thank you very much, and have a blessed day. Stay safe and on your little coastal town in south of France, and have a blessed day further. I'm really looking forward to following your trips in the future. I hope you get out sooner than expected.
Yeah, thank you so much for
Thanks.
the podcast.
Thanks a lot, Anton. It's the first time we did an English
interview, so it was good exercise for us.
Yeah.
Sorry for the English mistakes.
Sorry for everybody for English, but we try to do our best.
There is nothing sorry to be about. You did really well. I'm sorry that my French is dismal or doesn't exist. I mean, it's if I could speak some French, we would be doing it in French, I assure you. But your English is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. You've done well. It's been fantastic. I've really enjoyed it. And like everything, I've learned something. I want to ask you quickly, and either of you can answer this. What is the best and the worst experience that you guys have had while being out in the open?
Yeah, I think the worst was an experience in Oman. We got stuck. Maybe you can tell it better than me.
So yeah, in Oman there is a lot of wadi. It's a river that can be canyon. It's like canyon, yeah.
Yes,
but it's not recommended to stay near this place, because if it's raining, it can fill the canyon very quickly, so it can be dangerous. And each year, I think there is deaths because of dead people because of this. And so we went there during the night. So never drive. It's by night, yeah, it's something.
We made all the beginners mistake. We were driving at night, and we were not paying attention to the map. So yeah, we got stuck in the wadi.
Yep.
And with a flat tire.
Oh.
So it was impossible to move because the road was very narrow and many sharp rocks.
Wow.
So we had to wait for the sunrise.
But we couldn't sleep because we just hoped that the rain will not come. So there were no rain, so we are lucky. But yeah, at sunrise, it took maybe 2 hours for just a simple U-turn. And after checking our itinerary, we see that we were on pedestrian tracks, not roads. So we went wrong, and we didn't read the map.
Yeah. So yeah, it
Wow.
was the beginning of a landing for us.
Yeah, maybe 4 years ago.
You know what? And that's I say this every time, but no good story ever starts off with when I went into the kitchen to boil the kettle to make a cup of tea. You know, it's a good story like this that you will never forget. You will always, go back and go, okay, hang on, I'm not going to sleep in there, because the same thing happens in Namibia, for example. The only way to get around in certain areas is to drive in the riverbeds. So some people go and stay and camp in the riverbed, and the same thing happens. The rains come from Angola. The next thing you know, it's floods down in certain areas, and you just get completely caught. So you're not the only ones. Don't feel ashamed or embarrassed. It happens a lot more than what people would like to tell. So I completely get that. So I know this is going to be a difficult one, but what is your best experience, that really hits home to you? What hit your heart somewhere along the roads that you can share with me?
I think the best experience for me, and maybe for Victor, was someone we met on the road, like in Kyrgyzstan. We were like in the mountains, in a big valley of high altitude. So it looks like just maybe the image that you have of Mongolia. It's a big valley.
Yes.
But it looks like a steppe. There's nothing, no trees, no vegetation, only a small grass and the big mountains around. And so we were there just before the night, and it was very, very cold, like maybe 2-3 degrees already.
Okay.
Just before the night. And we didn't find any place to camp without wind, because it was all flat. And we were just close to the border with China. So it was very impressive place.
Wow.
And we found these people that they were like how do you say that?
Sherpas, nomadic, like locals.
Yeah. And so we went to them to ask if we could sleep close to their camp.
Yeah.
And they just naturally invited us to sleep with them. It was 3 men, and each of them had one tent. So we slept with the oldest one. It was an amazing experience, because we were three of us, and we slept with him in this little tent, stuck like together.
Yeah. Cuddling.
Near the fire.
Near the fire, he invited us for the
night. We ate with them.
It was quite difficult to speak because no English, a little bit Russian, and Kyrgyz.
Yes.
So, but we had a lexic for Kyrgyz.
A small glossary.
Yeah.
So we could speak a little bit, but with vodka and it was okay.
And we speak with a smile, and that was easy meets, and
it was so simple and so natural, and the place was amazing. So it was like we were so lucky to find them and sleep with them.
Wow, I actually have a big smile on my face, because I can just imagine, beer goes everywhere. I don't care where you are, beer works. And being able to just, communicate in such a simple way with happy people is just so pleasant. That's amazing. And I'm jealous.
And the day after, so we went with them with their horses, and we visited a little bit the valley. So it was
wow,
one day, a perfect day.
Wow, that's incredible. Well, listen, thank you very much for sharing with me, guys, and I really appreciate it. And I'm really hoping that all the listeners, whether you're in French or English or Russian or Kyrgyzstan. I'm not sure what they speak, but please follow this amazing couple. And thank you very much again. Have a blessed day further. It's still early in the morning, so you've got the whole day ahead. And we will definitely keep in touch. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Anton.
Thank you.
Go well, guys. Have a blessed day.
Bye. See you.
Bye-bye.